Today we are going to talk about transformations. What comes to your mind when you hear the word transformation? For me, one thing that comes to mind is when I think of a caterpillar transforming into a butterfly. Maybe some of you may think about how a person may transform their lives, or maybe they transform their look. Maybe some of you played with toys when you were younger that transformed into something else. Let me play a little video clip of this. Today we are going to talk about geometric transformations. So we're going to talk about transformations in terms of shapes. To transform a shape or a figure, it means to change it. In general, we can change the size, location, and direction that a figure is facing. The shape or figure before the transformation is called the pre-image, or the original. We may label it with a letter, just a plain letter, like the letter A or B. The shape or figure after the transformation is called the image, or the new figure. And we're going to label that with a letter with a little symbol after it that looks like kind of like an apostrophe but straighter. And we call that a prime symbol. So we would pronounce that A prime. Take a minute and get this into your notes. So in this unit, we are going to look at 4 different types of transformations that occur with shapes. So let's look at each column to discuss what each of these is going to be. So first of all, in the very first column here, if you notice, here is our pre-image A, and here is our image, or our newer image, A prime. Take a minute and copy those words onto your picture. So if you look at these different images, A and then A prime, they look exactly identical. The only difference is where they are located. In a graph, if you remember, we describe locations on a coordinate plane by quadrants, and we name the quadrants the pre-image area. Here, this is quadrant 1, to the left is quadrant 2, right below that is quadrant 3, and to the right of that is quadrant 4. So the only thing that happened is this image moved from quadrant 1 into quadrant 3. So we call that a translation. And a key word for that is a slide. So what's happened is the image has just slid from the right down to the left. So that is called a translation. In this second column right here, we have our pre-image B and our image B prime. This one should look a little familiar to you. The images are identical, except they're sort of in reverse of each other. And that is called a reflection. Some keywords for reflection are a flip or a mirror image. Just like when you look in a mirror, you see your reflection. It's identical except everything is in reverse. So notice here the eye is on and the pre-image is on the right, but in the image it's on the left. So that is called a reflection. In the third column, we have our third type of transformation that we're going to cover in this unit. Notice the pre-image C to the image C prime, and now the object has actually turned. A turn is called a rotation, and turn is a key word indicating there is a rotation. Finally, in the last column here, we have our final type of transformation. Our pre-image is D. Our image is this D prime. And if you notice, going from the pre-image to the image, it's gotten smaller. So anytime you have an enlargement or a reduction, whether you go from a small object to a large or a large object to a small, that is called a dilation. And keywords for that are enlarge or reduce. Where do you see transformations in the real world? Let's list some examples. So first of all, a translation. Where might you see something that is saying exactly the same but just moving? This one's a little tricky to come up with ideas, but one example could be a conveyor belt. Let's say you work for Amazon and you take a package and you put it on the conveyor belt to move to another location. The package stays exactly the same size, the same shape. It's not changing at all. It's just moving locations. So that is an example of a translation. Reflections is a little bit easier. An example of reflection could be looking in the mirror, or maybe looking at a body of water and see the image of the landscape in the body of water. Where might you see a rotation? If you named anything to do with a wheel, like a bike or a car, that's an example of something rotating. A rotation is a turn. And lastly, where have you heard the word dilation before? Or maybe some of you dilate. Well, anybody who's been to the eye doctor before has probably had their eyes dilated. That's when they put drops in your eyes to make the pupils bigger so they can look better into your eye. So that's an enlargement or a dilation. So those are examples of transformations in the real world. Now let's go ahead and take a few more notes and some terminology dealing with transformations. So if a transformation preserves congruence, and what that means is it keeps exactly the same size and the same shape, then it is called a rigid transformation. So again, a rigid transformation maintains exactly the same size and exactly the same shape. A transformation might also change the way it is facing, and that is called a change in orientation. So if an object is, So if an object is rotated, that would be a change in orientation because it's facing a different direction. Or maybe if it's a reflection, it is also a change in orientation. So what I would like you to do is to look at the four problems down here where the camera has different transformations that have occurred to it. I would like for you to name the type of transformation that is there. So you're going to say either a translation, a reflection, a rotation, or a dilation. Name which one you think it is. And then what I'd also like you to do is to tell me whether the size or the orientation has changed or stayed the same. You could put a C for changed and an S for stayed the same. Take a minute and try to complete that. All right, well, let's see how you did. So number one should have been a reflection. In number one, the camera is exactly the same except for it is reversed. If you notice, you can see this symbol is here on the right and then it's on the left, but everything else is the same. And so we say the size too, that everything is identical, the size is the same, but the orientation has changed. Let me go ahead and record that. Okay, the next one, the dilation. This one is a dilation because it was large and then it became small. So this one, the size definitely has changed. The orientation is identical because we haven't changed the way it is facing. It's still exactly the same exact direction. Problem number three is a rotation because you can see there was an actual turn here. Now the size of that camera is exactly the same, but the orientation has changed because now it is flipped and laying on its side instead of being oriented straight up and down. And lastly, the translation. The size is the same and it looks exactly identical. So this is a translation where it's just kind of moved from one spot to the other. That's a little bit more difficult to see with this type of a picture. But the orientation is identical. That camera is facing the exact same way it was from the original to the new image. Take a minute and make sure you have these copied down. Next, I'd like you to use the graph identified here to tell me which type of transformation is shown by the different figures. So would you please tell me the answers to these questions here, A through D? Your choices are either it is a translation, a reflection, a rotation, or dilation. You're welcome to go back and look at your notes. Let's see what you can do with these. All right, well, let's see how you did here. So going from figure A to figure B, if you notice, there was an actual turn here. Not actually a turn, I shouldn't use that word because that would mean it's a rotation, but it was just flipped around. Okay, imagine taking figure A and just flipping it. So that's a reflection. Letter B, you should have said it's a rotation from figure B to figure C, because this one, there was actually a turn that occurred to change the orientation. Letter B, it was pointing, the arrow that was at the end was pointing to the left. If you look right here, and then letter C, it's now pointing up. That is a rotation. It was actually turned. Letter C is a translation because this thing here was just moved here. They're identical, going from C to D, same exact shape, just a movement. That's a translation. And finally, if you look at letter D, figure D and figure E, figure D was enlarged to make figure E, so that is called a dilation. So I hope that you got all of those right. Now, if you would, take a minute to see if you can answer the following questions here to help you summarize what you've learned today. Okay, let's go over some of these answers to summarize this lesson today on transformations. So first of all, what type of transformations are rigid? Remember that rigid means that the size and the shape stay the same. So that happens in a reflection and a translation and a rotation. The next question to the right, how can you tell in a graph which figure is the pre-image? Remember, the pre-image will not have that prime notation. So that's the way that we know which one is the original or the pre-image. What is meant by the orientation of a figure? So orientation means the way a shape is facing. And lastly, what type of transformations affect the size of a figure? Only dilations affect the size of a figure. The other ones do not change the size. So that is a little summary of today's lesson on transformations.